Hello everyone and welcome to your guide to popular builds and Heroes of the Storm. My name is Saren Death and today we'll be checking out Tychus' Tank Killer build. But before we get into any of that, a quick disclaimer. These guides are not written in stone. They are here to point you in the right direction, but ultimately they are a tool to help you learn the hero on your own. Now we've gotten through that, let's take a look at Tychus. He is a ranged assassin from the StarCraft universe, and when he isn't thieving, fighting, backstabbing, or thieving, he's shooting off his mouth and his big guns in the Nexus, and of course being asked to put out a cigar because it's a smoke-free zone. His kit makes him a great choice when going up against a tanky enemy frontline, as he will chew through their health. Before we get into his talent build, let's take a look at his skills. His trait is called Minigun. This is a 12-second cooldown that grants your basic attacks against enemy heroes bonus damage equal to 2% of their maximum health, lasting for 3 seconds. This ability, in conjunction with his very high base attack speed, will allow you to absolutely eat through a tank's health. His Q is called Overkill. This is a 15-second cooldown, targeted AoE cone that sends a barrage of hot lead down range, dealing massive damage to the target and heavy damage to nearby enemies over 5 seconds. You can reactivate the ability to select a new target, and you can move and use abilities while channeling. This is a great AoE move that can help you clear the lane while putting pressure on the enemy. The range is surprisingly long, so you can chase enemies down to finish them off if they try and back out. Just remember not to overextend for the kill. Tychus' W is called Frag Grenade. This is a 10-second cooldown AoE skill shot that lobs a grenade that deals moderate damage, knocking enemies away from the center of the explosion. This is a pretty decent AoE ability that can be used to stop channels on objectives or knock an enemy towards you, giving you more time to hit them with Overkill. His E is called Run and Gun. This is a 10-second cooldown, short-range dash. Essentially, this is your escape, but you can also use this to keep people in range of Overkill or even your minigun auto attacks for just a bit longer. Now we've covered his basic abilities, let's take a quick look at his heroics. His first heroic is called Commandeer Odin. This is a 100-second cooldown that calls down an Odin that you can pilot. Getting into the Odin takes a bit of time, but once inside, your basic attack range is increased by 100%, and you will deal more damage with your auto attacks. Your basic abilities also change. Your Q becomes Annihilate, which is an AoE line skill shot on a 7-second cooldown. Your W becomes Ragnarok Missiles, which is an AoE skill shot on a 7-second cooldown that also slows enemies hit by 30% for 2 seconds. And your E becomes Thrusters, which acts a lot like Run and Gun, except it has a 7-second cooldown. This is a great teamfight heroic, but it takes some time to get into, so activate it before the teamfight starts. His second heroic is called Draken Laser Drill. This is a 100-second cooldown that calls down a massive laser drill that will attack nearby enemies, dealing moderate damage per second. The laser will auto-target someone, but you can reactivate the ability to assign a new target. The laser will last 22 seconds. This is a very powerful team fight and area denial ability, and is extremely effective when you're fighting around an objective, allowing you to punish enemies for getting too close. Just a note about the drill, it does have a health bar, so it can be attacked by the enemy, so be careful with your positioning of it so the enemy can't just focus it down. Now we've covered his base abilities, let's get into the talents. At level 1, you're going to go with Shrug It Off. Now when you use Run and Gun, you will also be granted resistance for 3 seconds, reducing the damage you take by 25%. This makes you much more durable when you need to escape or when you're trying to push further into combat. At level 4, you're going to go with In the Rhythm. This is a quest talent that permanently increases future minigun durations by 0.03 seconds for each basic attack made against a hero while minigun is active. Essentially, this talent gives you more uptime with minigun, which means you're going to be dealing more percent health damage to enemies. A big note about this ability is that it has no cap. At level 7, you have a choice to make. This choice comes down to personal preference and the enemy team composition. If you want to throw your grenade from a safer distance or hit fleeing enemies a bit easier, then you will go with Quarterback. This increases the range of Frag Grenade by 50%. This talent also synergizes well with your level 16 talent. However, if the enemy team has a lot of stuns, roots, or other CCs, then you will go with Relentless Soldier. This reduces the duration of silences, stuns, slows, and roots against you by 33%, allowing you to potentially live through chain CCs and get to safety or reposition. For Tychus' heroic, you're going to go with Draken Laser Drill. This is more of a personal preference thing, but while both heroics are great for holding objectives and can be moved out of or disengaged out of, the laser drill seems to have a slightly lower wind-up time, and you can take full advantage of your other talents while using the drill. At level 13, you're going to go with That's the Stuff. Now, while Minigun is active, you will heal for 100% of the bonus damage it deals to heroes. This synergizes very well with your level 4 talent in the Rhythm, and will keep you very healthy during team fights, taking some pressure off your healer. At level 16, you have another choice to make. For most of your games, you will go with Tychus Grenade. Now your Frag Grenade deals bonus damage to heroes equal to 5% of their maximum health. This is a sizable damage boost, especially when hitting tanky, high health heroes, and it can go a long way in securing a kill on an escaping enemy. This talent also synergizes very well with Quarterback, giving you a long range, high damage ability. However, if you really want to get more damage out of Overkill, then you can go with Armor Piercing Rounds. This increases Overkill's damage to the primary target by 50%. This talent can help you get a bit more damage out during team fights, especially against softer targets, if your primary target isn't backing away from you due to CC or poor positioning. At level 20, you once again have a choice to make. Most of the time, you're going to go with Sizzling Attacks. Now your basic attacks deal bonus damage to heroes equal to 1% of their maximum health, and this stacks with Minigun. With Tychus' very fast auto attack speed, you will absolutely be able to chew through enemy heroes. Your other option is Focusing Diodes. This increases the range of Draken Laser Drill by 50%, and the drill will deal increasing damage the longer it remains on a single target, up to 100% extra damage. This is a very useful talent if you find yourself in a lot of team fights where the enemy team refuses to back out, giving your drill ample time to just burn through an enemy's health pool. Tychus' Tank Killer build is a good build that has solid single target range damage, especially against high health heroes, with good AoE damage between Frag Grenade and Overkill. It has okay wave clear and okay escape with Run and Gun, and your Frag Grenade can displace the enemy, stopping channels or preventing them from escaping. However, Run and Gun doesn't have a long range, so you'll need to make sure you aren't overextending in the lane. Outside of Frag Grenade, most of Tychus' damage comes from sustained sources, like his auto attacks, and both of his heroics can be moved out of, potentially resulting in little to no damage from them. Alright, now you've gone over all of that, let's go over some quick tips for Tychus. An important reminder, you can use your other abilities while using Overkill. So if an enemy is escaping, you can dash forward, throw a grenade in front of them, and knock them back into your Overkill, potentially resulting in a kill. You can use Draken Laser Drill to cut off avenues of escape for the enemy, leading to a lot of damage through funneling them into your team, or from the drill itself. If used during an intense team fight, the enemy will either have to turn to kill the drill, or take a massive amount of damage from it. Tychus can absolutely chew through high health heroes like tanks, so make sure you punish them for overextending before turning on their back line. Just make sure you check their talents to see if they've taken an attack speed slow. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you found this guide helpful. If you have any variations or tips for this build, feel free to share them in the comments below. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I will catch you all later.